cruise to the shop. JAR on the radio from Slingshot Engage. Woo! For everyone's like reference, I've never done this transmission job before. I've pulled 2 transmissions in my entire life. One was a Ranger, 5-speed. Yeah, I think it was 5-speed out of a V6. Had no engine to it. The engine was gone. It was a transmission in there. That was obviously a very simple pull. And then I pulled or actually I installed, like literally just threw up in, Bellhousing bolts in, 4L60. I think that's what it is. It's a GM transmission. So that is the extent of my transmission skill. So when you see this, this is me looking at a problem and problem solving. There is no technical training here. There is nothing other than probably, bear with me here, okay? The truck isn't going anywhere until the transmission's in and drivable, so I can take my time. We're not rushing or anything like that, and I'm not gonna mess up a $3,000 transmission just because I'm trying to rush and get out of here and get this truck hooked up to the gooseneck so I can pull with it. The time has finally come. 550's in the shop. It is time for that transmission to come out. We got both trucks here today. We got a sheepdog in the back there. Woo. I got a debadge this side. Anywho, let's get to work. So here's the first weird thing. This is not a 12mm socket, which I thought was the right size, but this is a 3/8 12 point. Yeah, I know I gotta replace that seal. That looks terrible, doesn't it? Icky. The other thing is the front part of the drive shaft that's on like the tail housing is like 3/4 bolts. I don't know. They're not even 12-point bolts, which is really weird. But whatever. There's no thread locker on these either. Ford actually makes a special thread locker for this, for these bolts. If I remember correct. Oh my God. Whew. Hate little wrenches. Putting a lot of torque on little wrenches does not sit well with me. I need to use some power tools. So we have the back out. Took the middle out. We've got 2 bolts left up here. Take this front of the drive shaft out. I love when I record stuff and I don't record it because I don't hit the button. But anyways, drive shaft is out. Now we're going to take the shifter off up here, take these 6 bolts out, take this cover off, and then go back underneath and unplug everything and then drop the transmission. These 2 bolts here, 6 bolts here. Oh, and there's 4 like cell tappers, these holes right here. Anyways, get to work. So as far as unplugging things, there's a little connector here. It just lays down over the tail housing. I brought it over here, and then we have, something I assume are transcooler lines over here, and then we have this guy up here, which you just push in. Oh, okay. Gotta spin the other way. This is what actually, like the clutch, when you hit the clutch pedal, this is what moves, right here. So once you take this out, don't go hitting the clutch nowhere. Which is fine. Tuck that up out of the way. I'm sure it'll break more. Anyways, yeah, you get these trans cooler lines off. And then starter. It's right over there. And I've got to disconnect the batteries too. Other than that, she's almost ready to drop out of here. I mean, everything's covered in oil, but let me look at that. There's like 4 dinosaurs cutting this thing. So I got the cooler lines off. As you can see, this transmission fluid is brown. That's because there's rust in the transmission from water sitting in it for a couple years. So we will be obviously putting new transmission fluid in, which yes, it is transmission fluid, automatic, Mercron 5 or whatever transmission fluid. It just seems weird to me. I don't know. It's not an automatic transmission, so why is it using the same fluid as that? But whatever. We're putting brand new stuff in. I probably will drive it for about, 5,000 miles, an oil change, next oil change, and swap the fluid again if I can, just because I don't want that rusty stuff sitting in like the coolers and stuff. Terrible paint job. What the hell, man? Pretty sure these doors were blue at one point. Where is it? Right here. I don't know if you could see that. It's kind of hard to see on a GoPro screen, but there's like blue there. So I think this door used to be blue. This obviously has to get painted. I'm getting off track. Get back to transmission job. All right, so what we're doing right now, oh, starter. Yep, gotta pop the hood on the starter. That's a sneak peek of something. I believe that has a 7.3 IDI in it. Could be wrong. Could be a DT466. Either way, you don't want to subscribe for that. But what are we doing here? Oh yeah, battery terminals. So yeah, the wrench I need is underneath the truck. So we're gonna have to go find a different one. Haven't even got the transmission out. Look at that. That's how much this truck is covered in oil. Gloves don't even matter. It looks like I have gloves on, doesn't it? It looks like I got gloves on. It's not. Oh, my arm. All right, so time to take the belt housing bolts out. So what I like to do first, ta-da! Look how pretty that thing is. Woo, clean. So what I like to do first is count the bolts. So there's 2 over here, right in front of the shifter thingamabob. Those are easy. So we got 2 up top. Those are probably the hardest ones to get to. Might be able to get to them from inside the truck, inside the cab. And then we got 2 here, and then probably 2 more on the bottom. So what, 2, 4, 6, 8 bolts? I'll take it. Oh no, look at that. I got the truck dirty with my fingerprint. I'm going to wash this truck with gasoline. I don't know, something. But we got the jacks, there's a transmission jack ready. Anyways, I'm going to try and prop you up down there and so you can see some bell housing bolts come out or something. I don't know if that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is just step 1. The sad part is once we get our new injectors and our turbo in, you know, and some other mods like the fuel and stuff like that, and the tuner, transmission's gonna have to come out again for a new clutch, because this clutch, if it's a factory clutch, it's rated for like 280 horsepower. Which we can obviously surpass with just like a tune. And then if it's like a upgraded clutch, like a LUK or Luck or whatever you want to call it, clutch, we'll try and see what we get in there, but that's rated for like 300 or 320 or something like that, which we can still easily get over with a tune. So most likely the transmission is going to come out again. Probably 6 months from now, maybe less, for the new clutch. I'm not gonna put a new clutch in until this clutch goes bad. So, you know, thankfully I don't really use the clutch a lot for shifting and stuff, so it's not going to like burn out or whatever like that from slipping per se, from taking off and stuff. I am good at driving a manual transmission, but pulls with the, you know, full boost and a gooseneck might spin the clutch a little bit. So yeah, anywho, back to work we go. All right, so we got lucky here. The transmission bell housing bolt sizes are 3/4. Means that I can use the Milwaukee on them. Let's move this over here. And I'm actually going to put this swivel socket on the end just so we can get a straight on bite. Oh, without having to be straight on. I'll take it. Look how easy that is. Jesus. Oh my God, this is so easy. Are you kidding me? That can't be it. This is way too easy. I should do the up pipes next time I pull this out too. Ooh. There we go. Now we're talking. Let's put a longer extension on. Is this one like 3 feet? Was I just tightening it? I think I was tightening, that's the problem. Yeah, no, not the GoPro. That's going crazy under here. Yeah, I probably should make sure I'm loosening and not tightening. Oh, damn it. The stupid clutch boot thing fell apart. That's probably just gonna have to get a new one. Okay, this is retarded. That's way too long of an extension. Jesus. Can't even pick it up. Oh, I wish I had a lift. So every mechanic or everyone doing stuff on the ground ever. Probably, I don't know. All right, now that we tightened it down super hard with a Milwaukee impact, let's try to see if we can get it to come undone. Nice. I'm just loosening these. Actually, I guess I could take the ones out on top out. As you can see, actually I don't know if you can because the screen's off. I don't know if you can see up there. Can you see that bolt? Right next to the down pipe, or up pipe, whatever you want to call it. It's up pipe. Super easy to get to. I've seen way harder Bellhousing bolts. So, yeah. I think I'm going to take the top two out, maybe one from each side, put the transmission jack in, and then take the last two bolts out, back this thing up. Have to take the crossmember out, obviously. Alrighty, I'm going to get to work. Alright, so we got the top Bellhousing bolts off. We just used two extensions. We used the 3-foot and the 1-foot. And came back behind the crossmember and then just ran it out with the impact. So now we gotta get this crossmember out, and then there's one bolt holding the transmission Bellhousing in, and then it's just, I mean, it's hand tight, so zap that out. And I think a transmission should be coming out of here. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Call me a retard or whatever, I don't give a fuck. Those two bolts right there are the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Can't put a wrench on them, can't put a socket on them, nothing. Those little bolts, they just spin if you wrench them on from the nut side. Stupid as bolts. Guess what happens with stupid bolts? They get cut and burned. Can't be stuck if you're liquid. Alright, so we actually had to jack the rear end up to get us some room because the transmission is out, but it's super tall. I'm just having some clearance issues yanking on this thing, trying to get it to come out. So, we're about to yank on it some more. See? Easy peasy. We got enough room. Shit. Oh well, it's coming out. We're gonna put the new one on the jack. Hopefully a little smoother. Man, it's still not tall enough. Look at that. I gotta go up like another 3 inches. I guess we can jack the front up. Ooh, cab corners. We're gonna straighten that back up so we can transport. Transmission jack doesn't want to go straight. We might just push it actually. What the man? As you can see in there, that transmission fluid is brown. I mean, other than that, it doesn't look bad. I don't really know where the rust is, but whew, that's a dirty bit. So I guess we gotta go see what is on the other transmission, what we gotta swap over from here. And yeah, so let's go get that one unboxed. I'm gonna wash my hands first though, because they is dirty. A couple things we gotta check out first, just for, I don't know, shits and giggles, I guess. It's under the truck. Okay. So that is the factory clutch, if I'm not mistaken. It's a dual mass, which is only rated for 280 horsepower. Man, look how dirty that is. Oh. Oh. Had my cell phone in my back pocket. Let's take that out. God damn it, still dropped it. Ugh. Is this a mix? So that way it's pepper. Kidding me? I think legit. Come on. Oh, you like the wrenches? Yeah. No, it's not pepper. I find that very odd. What? Okay. Maybe this plastic thing off. Let's stop that we're going, Joe. See, that's all. Here's like a slow down. What's on here? Oh, yeah, that's what me. Move. I should read this, but here, I'll read it. There we go. All right then. Oh, John. There you go. Nope, probably. Okay, that's not hard to use. Okay. Smaller than 11/16. No, no, no. Come on. Of course, next size. Oh, we're gonna get back. If you're gonna do it yourself, raise the whole truck up like crazy. Look at this, whole front off the ground, whole back off the ground. Came off the jack stands there. This truck has no flex. It is, the back wheels are parallel with the front wheels and they're off the ground. I hope I didn't just break something. I came down a little faster than I wanted it to. We're back at the 550. It is the next day. I did not get it in yesterday. Probably spent 3 hours trying to get this spline to line up. I don't know if it's a spline or something, but I am like this close, and it just won't get past that last hump. So my friend Cody, who actually works here, is gonna come help me this morning, pull it a little, you know, he's gonna handle the front of the jack while I'm in the back, getting the tail housing elevated and stuff. I really think with his help it'll be a little easier, at least. The transmission was 235 pounds. I don't really believe that, but it might be true. It seems a little heavier than that. But then we have the transmission jack, which probably weighs 200 pounds by itself, because it's meant for I mean, we took 13-speed Eaton out with it, so I mean it's a big jack. And then the other jack for the tail housing to kind of get it level. So there's a lot of weight moving, and one person, I mean, no, me, just can't move it good. So, you know, today's the day. It has to happen, because I want to tow with this tomorrow. I got a job down the street, and I want to hook the gooseneck up to this. It looks so good. God, I love this truck. Well, transmission is in, quote, quote. As you can see, it is in. I gotta go get some bolts to hold the Crossmember up, because I cut some out. But, yeah. Now it's all easy from here. Just gotta put bolts back in where they go, and nuts, and clean up and go do some burnouts. Lost the GoPro for a few minutes. Found it again. So a little update. Oh, I don't remember where we were last, so we'll just probably just go from the beginning. Transmission is in. Crossmember is in. Transmission sensors plugged back in. The clutch pedal push rod thingy's back in. Coolant coolant lines are hooked back up. Front drive shaft is mocked in. It's not cranked down all the way, and you're caught up. So right now I'm working over here trying to get this thing to go over. I think this is called a slip yoke, because it slips over it, but it's a false advertisement, because nothing about this is slipping except the caps off of the rear U joint, which is cool. Got some Ultimate Black RTV. It's JB Weld stuff. It's whatever. It's not the greatest, but not the worst either. This with brake on our work. When you pulls off. And then run them in. All right, we are in neutral. Oh, that is crisp. Oh my God. I don't think I've ever driven a new manual transmission. There's low gear. Oh, snap. Still does that noise though. Not as bad, but I don't like that. What's up, buddy?
Great.
That thing is so crispy. Woo! Look at that. Just goes. Don't stall it. Jesus. Right into gear. I don't mess around. Just taking that for a drive around the back parking lot real quick. turning radius of a small planet. Ooh, ow. Doesn't pop out of gear. That's nice. That was something the other transmission did, was it would, at low RPMs like this, it would have just thrown it out of gear right there. Oh yeah, yeah. I think we'll take this to lunch. Okay, so this is one of those things where I'm just gonna, these are all tools I use for the most part. There's some ratchets obviously I didn't bring out. This is all from memory, so I'm probably missing a few. I believe I used a 19 on something, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, 5/8, two 11/16. I like these short ones, came in handy. I also had a 5/8 that was short, I believe. That was also handy. 3/8 for the rear drive shaft, 12 point, make sure. 3/4 for a bunch of stuff. So I used this for the Crossmember, the transmission Crossmember. I use these for the belt, this for the Bellhousing bolts, because it wiggles, and then I just put this on the end of it for the side ones, and then for the two at the top I used both extensions and just went over the Crossmember, and then obviously Milwaukee impact. What is this one? Oh, another 5/8. I believe these were the carrier bearing bolts, if I'm not mistaken. Hammer, could have used a bigger one. This is the only one I could find. Pry bar, transmission jack, regular jack, and then a whole bunch of muscle, because I'm wore out. This was a pain. But now I gotta clean up. Obviously put the transmission, these go to the transmission jack, and then I take this outside and spray it off real quick. Gotta put it back in the box and send it back to, I can't for the life of me remember what their name was, but yeah, this transmission job is done. I'm gonna take that to lunch real quick and probably hop on the old internet and find a Honda engine for this air compressor, because this is getting hard mounted to the truck. It has a Subaru right now, 6 horsepower, or no, that can't be right, 6 horsepower, wow. Subaru engine on it right now, which is a pain in the ass to deal with. If you turn it off with fuel in the up here, and without turning the fuel off, it instantly fills the carbs with fuel. Doesn't want to start ever. So time to get this, get gone and get a Honda on here. This is probably going over there, and then toolbox is over here. This is just temporary, because this is the new tow rig now. So yeah, thanks for watching. I don't know if this is gonna be the end. Actually, I gotta go shoot another video real quick. Actually, I'll probably do that at the house. But thanks for watching Bald Eagle Diesel's YouTube channel. We'll have more content coming up now with the 550 towing and working and stuff like that, because now it's ready with the new transmission. I think we gotta do a clutch, but we gotta call South Bend and find out what clutch we can put in this and all that kind of stuff, because we're gonna make some power with this truck in the coming months. And the 280 horsepower factory rating on the clutch that's in there right now, not gonna work. So anywho, I'll see you guys later.